Hello there, Drew Hanish of Whiskey Lore, and it is time for another tasting. And today I'm going to be heading to the state of Tennessee, a place that I know so well because I've been to so many different distilleries there. In fact, I am working on a book that will be for Tennessee that is similar to my book for Kentucky, and hopefully that will be out before the summer kicks into full effect. And so keep watching. If you go to whiskey-lore.com, sign up for the newsletter because you'll be the first to know when I am going to be releasing that new book. But I'm going to do a tasting today on Company Distilling's straight bourbon whiskey. Have you ever heard of Company Distilling before? Well, you probably would know their Master Distiller, if you are a Jack Daniel's fan at all, Jeff Arnett. Now, Jeff recently left to go work on a new project. I remember getting the email saying, Jeff is leaving and mysteries abound as to where he's going. What he did was he joined up with some other all-stars from the distilling world in Tennessee, including Heath Clark, who has H. Clark at Thompson Station south of Nashville, and also with Chris Tatum, who had Old Forge in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then what they've decided is that they're going to create 3 different locations throughout Tennessee. There's one at Thompson Station. They're going to turn the H. Clark Distillery, and in fact already have rebranded it as Company Distilling. And then they're going to have 2 in East Tennessee. One is going to be in Alcoa, and that's where they're going to have their big distillery. And then Townsend is going to be the other location, and that's going to be a place for you to do sampling and that sort of thing. That is really close to Gatlinburg, so if you're coming up from Knoxville to Gatlinburg, you actually will pass by the Alcoa distillery as well as by Townsend, and they want to make this a destination. So it's going to be a really nice, interesting place. There's distilleries in East Tennessee, but most of the distilleries in East Tennessee are smaller distilleries like Tennessee Hills or Lost State, King's Family Distillery, Junction 95. Those are all kind of smaller distilleries. So this will be more of a larger distillery experience for you if you head in that direction. So it's part of the reason why I need to do a book on how to travel around Tennessee, because there's a lot of distilleries coming up, and they're going to be really, really interesting. The biggest national park in terms of tourists is the Great Smoky Mountains. So there's going to be a lot of people vacationing around that area. And great to know there's more than just moonshine up there in them there hills. So, all right, doing a little nosing and tasting on this. And the nose on this one, you immediately get a caramel apple comes at you right off the bat. There's a little bit of an oak warehouse kind of a smell that comes in. And this is a whiskey that, when I talked to him, he said one of his, I don't know if to say it's a disappointment, but something he thought could be better was the Jack Daniel's Gold, mainly because that was proofed down to 80 proof for the Asian market, because that's really where that was targeted. And so he wanted to utilize this maple finishing idea, but he wanted to do it and actually have it be a higher proof, so you get more flavor out of it and a little bit more enjoyment out of it. And this is a wheated bourbon, so it's interesting that he's trying to mimic a product that was a rye and barley and corn mash bill, and now he's jumping into a wheated mash bill for this. This is one that he discovered it when he went up to Speyside Cooperage in Ohio, and this is a 3-year whiskey that he said when he first nosed and tasted it, he said, this is really kind of what I want to do. So he is sourcing this because, of course, the distillery is still being built. So there's no way that he's going to have his own whiskey at this moment. But this is a really interesting start. Going wheated, yes. All right, give it a taste. Nice medium mouthfeel on it. There's actually a little tea note in there. You got caramel, and then the oak is there. You get a little char from the oak. And in the finish, it goes to a black pepper that kind of holds through there. And then the caramel comes back and kind of finishes the experience off. It's really interesting. And then the nose becomes a bit more powerful as you go back and nose it again. It's sometimes nice to take a second taste just to see if a whiskey builds upon itself. The finish kind of thins out a little bit for me. You get that caramel flavor, but it's just kind of a light coating. So, I don't know, a little more time in the barrel. Although, I don't know if I go too much longer in the barrel because it's starting to pick up that oak characteristic. So it's probably right at that balance where it needs to be before it starts heading into being a little bit too oaky. So anyway, that is Company Distilling, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will say that this is only available, I think, in Tennessee right now, but maybe as you're passing through on I-65 or I-75, you can stop in and get yourself a bottle of it wherever you may be. If you enjoyed the video, please like, and if you want to see more of these videos, subscribe. I am very happy that you watched the video today, and more tastings are on the way. Until next time, cheers and Slán Dubh.